How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Software Inc., welcome back to Hard Mode, and welcome back to Nerdrasoft. It is March of 2011, which means there has been a bit of a time skip since the last episode, and that's not the only thing that's changed since that episode. I've been a little bit busy going in and getting a whole bunch of new update teams, which means the fixers and the other guys have been renamed to Update Team 1 and Update Team 2, and they've been joined by Teams 3, 4, 5, and 6. The support team has also gotten a little brother with Support Team 2, made up of a total of 8 people, including the team leader, and the hope is that we can use all of these new teams to not only stay on top of support tickets, but to also stay on top of updates and bug fixing as well. So essentially, I have gone around the tower and gone to all of the rooms in this tower building that weren't previously occupied, such as this one, and all of these rooms up here that you can see as well, and these ones in here as well, and they are now all worked in by various update teams or support teams or whatever else. And I'll admit that things haven't necessarily been set up all that efficiently at the moment. If we look at the games project, all of the update teams are set to work on updates for the games. And the reason I've done this is because I want them to get experience. Not everybody coming into those teams is going to be tremendously well skilled. So giving them maybe a year, maybe 2, to learn how to do things, I think, is going to mean that eventually, by the time perhaps Nerdrasoft Universe 1 comes out, we can start splitting them up and say that every project has 2 update teams that can work on them. That way, my update teams aren't necessarily going to be overwhelmed, and certain pieces of software aren't necessarily going to suffer. Although what we might want to do, in reality, is assign perhaps essentially one update team per intellectual property. So there's 3 games that we're working on, there's 3 intellectual properties there, so 3 update teams might be the way to go there. That's not to say that one team will deal with one IP, but just as a way of measuring things, that might be what we want to do. But as time goes by, we'll figure out the right ratios and we'll figure out the right amounts of people per project. But for now, that is the big change between this episode and the last one. So I suppose at this stage, what we're doing is waiting until, I believe, April, until we see, I think it's April this year, that Universe 1 goes into alpha, which is going to be very interesting because I do feel like this October 2014 release might get brought forward. There's a chance we might see Nerdrasoft Universe 1 in 2013. And I'm also willing to bet that, let's see here, I'm willing to bet that Soundscape 3 gets brought forward into this year, into 2011, and Sniffer 3 might do it as well. And, Sniffer 3, when is it due to go into alpha? July this year, looking for an August 2012 release. That one probably will stay 2012, but I do think there's a chance that Hell Fortress 2 is also going to be brought forward. Now, another little something that I've been working on is right here. I've been taking more contract work to try and just essentially bolster my reputation. So we're going to continue to do that. We'll have me lead up this particular contract, and it is an art project that everybody is going to be working on. So it's really going to take no time at all to get through a few different iterations of this. We'll get into iteration 4 and develop it, and then we can probably get this done by the end of today. If not today, then tomorrow for sure. And that should push our reputation closer to a full 6 stars. In fact, looking at this, I think we can promote and finish. It's outstanding, and now one more little contract, and we are probably looking pretty good. So it's not going to be an embedded system, I'll tell you that right now. A website, That's mostly art. There is some programming in there as well. I don't necessarily... Oh, man. 1.3 million for a contract right there. That's not bad. Maybe we do take a 2-month embedded system, but we'll take it next month so that we aren't sort of missing out on this half of March right there. And the reason I'm doing this is to get my business reputation as high as possible so that when I do eventually open V, our new digital distribution platform, which I'm waiting on remote streaming to do, we can hit the ground running with a fantastic reputation in the industry, and hopefully in doing that, we will just get a massive market share. That's the idea. Whether or not that works out, I'm not really too sure, but that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping we can really just take over digital distribution with V, which again is an interesting name, but we'll stick to it for now. We'll take another printing job there as well. And in terms of contracts, game assets, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Let's go ahead and put Annie Kelly in charge of this. We'll accept the work and we can prioritize that. And this probably will push us up to a full 6-star reputation in the industry, which again is exactly what we're looking for. We'll develop this. It really is going to take no time at all. It might be done before lunch. It's not going to be done before lunch, but that's okay. It is now done. We'll promote and finish. Oh my god, we're so close. We're so close to the full 6 stars. Maybe we do just take an embedded system. Maybe that's the way to go. So we'll have me go and lead this up, and we'll put it on the source, and I guess we'll take a 2-month project and prioritize that. But I am going to say that maybe marketing doesn't get in on this this particular thing, and we don't need anybody else working on it either. It shouldn't take too long. This is something we should be able to do pretty well. Hopefully it doesn't ruin my reputation, and we'll just leave them to it for now. And so, with another contract completed, we are now a 6-star company. So, whenever it comes time to create V, I'm, like I said, hoping for some good things. Now, here's what I want to do. I want to start working on a console operating system, and you might be thinking to yourself, that seems a little bit silly, given that I only have, I don't even have the phone operating system out at the moment, but you have to keep in mind, we're now developing Nerdresoft Universe 1, so we can put our designers to work on a console because they aren't actually developing anything right now. So, essentially, what I would like to do is create a console that is just remarkably modern. It has just everything in here. Spend time when developing software to save money when ordering hardware. Remove extra cost when ordering product prints. I don't know that we need that. I am just going to throw everything at this, though. So networking and all of this different stuff. Audio, and we're not going to do surveillance, 3D. We'll do super optimization as well. And then looking at this, we need printer. We need 2, 4, 5, 9, 10 printers going into 4 assemblers and 1 final assembly. Interesting. That's actually not anywhere near as much as I thought we would need. That's actually really curious that it's nowhere near what I thought we would need. That's weird. But yeah, we'll do a console operating system. Design-wise, I mean, this thing, should it be an old style console? I feel like it should be a new style console, to be quite honest. So let's filter through styles. We'll go for this Xbox One looking thing. And design-wise, I do want something a little bit sharp. I don't know that I necessarily... I do like the little inset part, but I don't like... I don't like that it's skewed. I also don't want it to be tapered either. So how do I get rid of all this? I don't want it curved. That's the inset. That's the bend. We don't really want it to bend either. That's the middle width right there. We'll make it a little bit thinner. And yeah, I just need to find... There's the skew. We're just going to make it kind of a box is what we're going to do. We could make it quite fat as well if we really wanted to. We can kind of make it a chunker, and we could probably... That's the controller inset. We could probably, if we really wanted to, make it a little bit rounder as well. But I do I don't know. I do kind of like the idea that it is just this. It's sort of an Xbox One X in a way. It's just a big square. So so let's go for that. Color wise, we'll go for this. Secondary can be a dark blue, perhaps, or a purple, or a bright red for all I care. Secondary can just be, I guess, that, and then the tertiary can just be that right there. It's a bit boring looking, isn't it? It is definitely. It's not an exciting looking console, but that's okay. That's fine. It's a bit of a box. You know, I've changed my mind. We're gonna go for a very dark console, but it's gonna be a slightly purple console, and it's gonna be called Obsidian, much like the purple block in Minecraft. I just think it's an interesting name. It's an interesting word for a console. Obsidian, and then Obsidian 2 and Obsidian 3. It's weird, and I like it. We're also going to use NS Gaming as the name for the framework, and in terms of a joystick, apparently we need to design one of those as well. So I guess we call it the Obsidian controller, which is going to be kind of a pain to work on, but we want to do everything for this as well. And then I need to look, well, I'm going to need to look at everything. We want to give it a nice big battery pack, and we want to give it a few light strips, and I mean, not really sure what else we can do with this. Design wise, oh, well, that thing is, that's a thing. All right. That's a little better. I didn't actually get the color code for the console, so I'm probably going to want to grab that so I can design this thing to look a little, I guess that's not too bad. It's very PlayStation looking. That's a little more Xbox looking, I guess. So maybe I go with this. Let's not bend it too much. Let's bring the handles down a little bit. Let's curve it just a little bit. And can I bring this sort of middle part just up a little bit? I can't click on any of these things. It's really annoying. I don't know why I can't click on any of these things. It's really weird. Can I get you? Indentation comes up a little bit. Let's just keep that where it is. The height can be just something like that. I don't want it to be too crazy, but I do want it to be, I don't know, I want it to be kind of interesting looking, you know? I guess this kind of works. We have sort of an obsidian purple there that I'll copy over to the console. We have some red, like the lava that it's forged in, and then just black for the buttons is fine by me, although I do think the buttons should be those rather than what it was before. We'll go for the buttons with the, you can sort of see the letters on there as well. I guess this guy, I mean, it's probably going to be that, I think, for the thumbstick. Oh, that's the entire thing I'm changing the style of. You know, I don't hate the entire red back on this, but I'm almost thinking that a black back on this would look really good with the purple front, and it does. The stick does need to change as well to, I do like that one. I'll be honest, I don't hate it, but I think we'll stick with this guy, or maybe, yeah, maybe we will stick with that one so it doesn't have quite as much purple going on. So that's the entire thing. I just want the stick, which is going to be that style. And then the D-pad is going to be, I guess, that. And that's okay. That's fine. I don't mind that. So that's going to be our design for the Obsidian controller. Source control is the source. And the teams on this thing are, well, I don't think I can project manage this, can I? That's slightly frustrating. That is slightly frustrating that I can't source control this. But I guess it's, I mean, it doesn't really say what I need for it. It seems like it's mostly just entirely hardware. So let's just give it entirely to the hardware team and see how they deal with it. I mean, it's 2 designers, 2 programmers. It's less than a year. It's just the manufacturing side of things that's kind of the problem. We don't have that production line. So we can start developing that, I guess. And then we can look, I guess we'll go back here, back to design of the console, and we'll get the purple in there that it's supposed to be. So now it's very purple, which is fine. We could probably put the red down through the middle. maybe a very dark red rather than, oh, I don't know about that. It's a little gaudy, but I think we'll go for it. And yeah, Obsidian controller, we'll auto balance this, and it's going to be given to project management. So it's going to be given to hardware to deal with. And so essentially I need to have a look at the info in this, and I need to know what it needs for design. Oh God. Now hold on a minute. I might have made a mistake here. This guy is also in its actual design phase now, which is terrifying. December 2016 is the release date for that. Okay, so I need to know what a console needs. So manufacturing, hardware manufacturing, that's not what I'm looking for at all. where do I find this stuff? How do I look at production lines? I have no idea. I am suddenly slightly concerned. What is this? That's my assembly lines. Oh boy. Okay, so I can click on the printers and I can see console operating system. So we're gonna set this guy to, I guess, antenna. And I'm gonna duplicate. And then I'm gonna duplicate again and put him here and set him to controller. And I'm gonna duplicate a few more times. And then we need to duplicate again. Except this time it needs to be, I guess, somewhere else. So we'll go for here and here. And we can set both of these guys to device input. And that is going to be everything we need for that first line of assembly. So all of this then needs to go into, I think, a component assembler, right? So one of these guys. But I also need to connect all of this together in a way that's not ridiculous. So let's, first off, let me reset my my grid and reset my angle snapping back to 90. And then what we want to do is bring these guys over here, bring you out like this, bring you out like this, and bring you out like this. And now what I've done, if I sort of set this up all correctly, if I just sort of do it like that, we now have these three lines coming forwards, and those need to go into an assembler, which is kind of wild. So what I'm going to do is bring them this way. I'm going to bring them back. I'm going to bring them over, and I'm going to put them into a conveyor splitter, and then put them into a component assembler here and here. And I don't know that I love this. Maybe we do it this way instead. Actually, no. That is 100% not how we're gonna... Well, we'll do it this way. Conveyor belt comes over. It goes up. You go there. And so these are all feeding around. Oh, you're blocked off, though. That's kind of a problem. Huh. Okay. Well, what I could do there is actually just move this guy, if I really wanted to. You're not blocked by anything currently, but you absolutely will be. So I'm going to move you over there instead, and that gives us access to you. Oh, man. This is... It's a bit messy. It is definitely a little bit messy, but I guess it kind of works, doesn't it? If I get rid of you and how can I do this in a way that's not stupid looking? I think that's kind of as good as it's going to be quite honest. It gives us access to everything, and this all filters around as best as it's gonna. Although it looks like I could sort of move this whole selection just down by one. And yeah. Oh wait, no, that's a problem. Because it's going to feed back around, and we really don't want it to do that. Huh. Okay. So I can't feed it back around that way. I can move you to there. I can put you there. I can put this guy here. And then this guy just goes in the ground right there. So that's how that's going to feed around, I guess. So all of this is going to feed into these guys. So I need to set these to be a motherboard. And now they are all correctly feeding around the way we want them to. So let's put the motherboards onto a single strip right here. So they're going to go this way. And then for other things, if we go to component printers, we can go and say 2 of them for now. I don't know what these are going to be. They're going to be plastics. And I don't know what the other one is necessarily going to be either. It's going to be drive bays. Now, let's look at the times on these 16 and 16. So this should be okay. I could probably get a few more of these in here, but we'll just sort of do it this way and see how things go. And looking at this, actually, I want to change this around a little bit. I want you going that way, you going that way, and you going there. So these guys are all going to be right alongside each other, and that's good. That's perfect. Looking at this this production line, we need this to go into an assembler, and then we probably want another assembler. So what we'll do, I guess, is we'll have these guys all sort of, I suppose, converge on a single point. We can then have a splitter right here, and we can have a couple of sections going this way with a couple of assemblers just like this. This is really, really silly. But then this guy is also going to come along just like that. These guys are going to need to be split up a little bit, but what we can do is set these to assemble the case, which I think they're doing, right? This machine is sending components to an invalid location. That's fine. So all of these now need to be merged onto a single, I guess, thing. And then we can technically split it again, which I don't know that we necessarily need to do this, but I might do it this way. Or I guess I could sort of do it this way as well. Hold on. What if I get rid of you? And what if instead of doing it like that, we just rotate, we send you that way, we send you straight in there, and we'll bring this guy across. So they all go into this one splitter, and then it just comes out like this into another couple of assemblers. And that's going to be final assembly for the consoles. Which is wild. That is a lot. There's a lot, there's a lot going on there. But that seems okay. That's a lot. There's a lot of things going on. And so now we have this, which I don't know if this is actually going to function as a console production line or not. I don't know if my ratios are correct at all. I don't know if this mess down here makes any sense, but I do kind of like it. I'd be lying if I said I didn't. I do think it looks quite cool. And I do wonder if at some point I might get a console contract to, you know, manufacture some of those. It would be really nice if I did. I'm also kind of wondering if, and I feel like I probably can, I can probably squeeze another couple of these guys just over here. So if I just duplicate them and I do something a bit like that, and I duplicate another one for here, I can also duplicate some of these guys. I can grab you and send you that way. I can grab you and send you that way. And then we have a few more product printers sending products down to this side. And I could probably get another few product printers in here if I wanted to be a little bit cheeky, but I don't really think we need to. I think we're pretty good in terms of what we have in the factory here. It's just the problem at this point is the fact that I have nowhere to make the controller. So we might have to do that in a basement, which obviously doesn't exist right now, but we'll figure that out. Oh, there it is. We've just finished the printing job for Hell Fortress 2, which has just been brought forward to December 2011. Now, I will say it would be nice if these design action points would go a little faster so we could get everything else moving through their various phases a little bit faster. Now, let's just read this again. Each managerial decision requires action points, which the leader will work to acquire. Leader's skill determines how many can be acquired, and role-specific skills determine the speed. So, Joe Morrison. If we go to Joe Morrison, so manage employees and sort by role, Joe, I would like to train you. So if I could train you in design, it would probably be quite good for us. You do have some points available there, but you're not doing anything design oriented necessarily. It'd be great if you were. It really would. Not eligible, already maxed their specialization points. So I feel like I feel like maybe moving Joe off of that project and getting Sophia or getting Brooke even, because Sophia is leading this project, which, I mean, is going a little bit faster. Hardware is being led by Dante, and Dante is right here. Dante is decent with design there, which is interesting. Let's see if we get any other leaders that are also very good with design. I suppose Brooke is one option. Fabian is another one. Fabian leading the update team there. I'm almost tempted to say that we put Fabian Thomas in charge of this project. If we can, which it doesn't look like we necessarily can, but Brooke Edwards we absolutely can, and that does have me thinking, once Hell Fortress 2 goes out, maybe we do put Brooke Edwards in charge of the games because Joe is just too slow when it comes to the design aspect of things. Maybe. I guess we can wait, we can see what happens. The good news is a bunch of my porting jobs are getting done very quickly now, so we're moving through those quite nicely. Hardware-wise, obviously, big year 2013 right there, and yeah, 2014 for the phone, 2016 for Obsidian. That is kind of wild, but again, that controller is going to be a bit of a problem. Now, looking into research, it seems BrainU Corporation is potentially going to have the 2010 tech level for networking in Q3 of 2011, which is interesting. I'm not exactly sure when exactly we can use that. I'm really not sure on that one at all, but I kind of hope it's not a year-long exclusivity on that one, and that if they do happen upon it, that we can also get to use it sooner than later as well, because I really do. I want to get remote streaming. I want to start working on V. It's kind of the big project right now, so if we could do that, it would be great. I'm also aware of the fact that we are sitting close to $700 million. Kuth Interactive is almost worth $1 billion, and they're turning out products pretty quickly now. These are the guys that did the games, the Thief Gangs Show in Space games that you can see right there, turning unbelievable profits on a lot of their products, actually. But it's interesting that even with some more recent releases, I mean, they're looking at multiple millions upon millions. It is kind of wild. They're selling millions upon millions of units, $100 million on the expansion to Kingdom Battle 2. What that says to me is maybe we should go and look at making our games a little bit better. In terms of releases, I mean, we have 428,000 active users there for Roaster Coaster 4. Maybe we should try and capitalize on that. It might not be a bad idea. Also, Morph 4 has become our most profitable software. $230 million. That's amazing, but it also has me worried because the next one is going to be automated. I'll tell you what, though. Let's make an expansion pack for, I guess, Roaster Coaster 4. And we'll do the overhaul, the bonus add-on, the extra add-on, the majestic, the fresh, the big pixel, the fresh, I don't know what's it called, the jumbo add-on. I'm pretty sure we had one called that before. The deluxe add-on. Well, you know what? We'll do a DLC called like the deluxe edition, right? We'll do RC4 deluxe edition. And in terms of stuff, I mean, we kind of want everything: 2D, audio, 3D, and systems. So let's make sure the gameplay is as good as it can be. The story is as good as it can be. Let's just get everything up in here. Less than a year, a lot of wasted interest. That's fine. I'm going to make this thing the best expansion that's ever expanded a game ever. In terms of the thing we're using for it, we can use Bucket Red, which is fine by me. I'm pretty sure we're developing this based on the tech level of the game itself, so this is interesting. Morph 4, in fact, can we use Bucket Green instead? Yeah, we totally can. So we'll use Bucket Green, and the audio tool can be Soundscape number 2. Design teams on this one, I mean, it is 2D. So let's see, 2D, 3D. There's systems in there, and there's audio in there. We'll not go too crazy on this. We could actually probably get away with just putting the game dev teams on this, to be quite honest. So let's give that a shot and see if the game dev teams can handle this expansion. It's not really going to take that long to do. $20 is fine. So yeah, we'll hit develop on that, and we'll make it a priority just so I can see. Oh yeah, that's going quite quickly. That's kind of perfect. Oh wow, Brian Griffin has just retired after 14 years at the company. Wow. We gave him $8,800. That guy headed up so many of our products, and now Alexis Palmer has taken over Bucket Blue. Interesting. I actually can't believe that Brian has left the company. That is kind of wild. That is a little bit wild. Tell you what, Margarita Everett, you are going to be taking over instead on Bucket Blue. Wow, Brian Griffin is gone. He's left the. Wasn't expecting that. was not expecting him to be going anytime soon. That's oh god, that's got me worried about some of the other people that are going to start retiring. And we have had a few people retiring over the years. It's not always been seen in the videos, but they have been coming and going. 100% they have been coming and going. Okay, so very early in December 2011, Hell Fortress 2 has gone out. Let's take a look at it. It is great. It's ordinary. Let's immediately start porting it, because that's not something that is done automatically. And let's just go for release dates, active users perhaps. Let's go for all of those. That's a lot of operating systems, but we have a lot of update teams that can hopefully deal with that. We also want to start printing this. Maximum of 100,000 units at any one time. And updates will be handled automatically. Roaster Coaster 4, honestly, might be kind of a similar story. Yeah, a lot of platforms that can go to. Morph 4, in terms of porting, not a lot that can go to. Sniffer 2, in terms of porting, a couple of things that Sniffer 2 could go to. And Commander Stabby Face, I reckon there's probably a lot it could go to as well. It is not being marketed anymore, unfortunately. Good old Commander Stabby Face, but you know what? We'll throw it in there as a port anyway, and that's going to keep us all extremely, extremely busy. But it's that's all work that I'm sure my update teams will adore doing. It's gonna be good for them, is what it's gonna be. It's gonna build character, is what it's gonna do. And what's interesting is we can take a look at the games task. Commander Stabby Face 2 is going into its next phase January 2013, releasing June 2013. We have Roaster Coaster 5 going into its next phase August 2012. Looking to release in May of 2014. So Roaster Coaster 5 is officially on the way, which is kind of huge. Looking in here, similar kind of story. Soundscape 3 is due to release in January, which is, I mean, next month. And then Sniffer 3 and Morph 5 are both sort of on the way, I guess. It's going to be a little while before we see either of those. But to be fair, we are a $727,000 or $727 million company, so I'm not really too worried at putting some time between some of these releases. I think we can probably afford to do that. The supported operating systems from Morph 4 no longer have any users to sell to. Really? We have sold more. Wow, we've sold, how much has this made? $262 million? Right. So that's, wow, hold on a minute. There was nothing else to port that to, was there? Or, I mean, there was, yeah, there's there's some older operating systems, I guess. Wow, okay, that's actually kind of wild. That is actually kind of wild, and it's slightly depressing that Morph 5 is probably 6 years away. Oh, that's gonna suck. That is gonna suck not having more 5 for any time at all. I'm not really. I don't love that that's gonna be the case, but I mean, if we've sold it to everyone that can possibly buy it, then we've sold it to everyone that can possibly buy it. We've got a bit more hosting here. We've not actually had a single offer to manufacture anything, which has got me a little bit upset because we have this whole factory here that's just sitting doing nothing right now. But it does look cool, so I have that going for me. Oh, and there it goes. Soundscape 3 has been released. So what I'd like to do, I think, is I am going to move Sophia Coleman off of this project because, well, actually, admittedly, Sniffer 3 has just gone into an active alpha for release in a year, but I just don't know if Sophia. I mean, I guess having all of this ability in terms of development is great. I was going to put Brooke on there, but Brooke is arguably just as good. And I don't know that anybody else is going to be worth moving on to this. Robin Townsend as well. I think we need to find leaders that I can get working on just other things who can. If I find a project lead, if I find someone that can do automation, who is also phenomenally good at development, then I think that's going to be really good for us. But looking at it, Sophia, I think, I mean, you've maxed out your specialization points. Is that a trait? Can I look at traits very quickly? So filter by trait. So independent, specializations faster, no specialization point limit in main role. That's not really what I'm looking for. I need someone. I kind of need someone who, I guess fast learners will be good. I don't really know. I guess Sophia, I mean, we are working on this. As you get, whatever. As you get design points, I guess we'll start seeing more 5 go into design. So fair enough there. I also totally neglected Soundscape. It's, I don't know if it made money. Marketing is sparse on that and on Hell Fortress 2, which has me kind of concerned. I'm assuming marketing is probably working off their feet right now. So Soundscape, let's look at porting you, I guess, with all my update teams, and we'll put it on those 3 operating systems. Let's look at printing, and we'll do 100,000 copies. And is it good? It's good. It's good and ordinary. It could be better. Makes me think it might need a bit better in terms of, well, probably marketing, to be quite honest. Oh man, how is marketing doing? I mean, they're marketing. They're just not really marketing very well, I guess. I guess that's how we'll look at it. They're just not doing a very good job of marketing anything. But I mean, it's out there, right? It's out there, and given a bit of time, I'm sure it'll be okay. So let's take one final look today. No, remote streaming is not available. I wonder if it will be this year. I guess one of the other companies managed to research it, so maybe it's just a case of waiting for that to become kind of public. Oh, wow. My competitor's ETA on networking 2011 is Q1 2013. All right. If we look at research for networking, there's a few people working on, oh, wow. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get 2011. These guys are already working on it, so let's just cancel and wait for it to become a thing. I'm confident we'll do fantastic with digital distribution. I think it's just a case of being patient. Oh, now this is interesting. We actually have what looks to be a console operating, or a console production line contract / deal that we could take here. So let's actually accept that. We'll put it on assembly line 3, and we can go take a look at this, and we should start to see this assembly line working, and we do see parts moving out. So in theory, those parts will all make their way around to final assembly, and we should see, yeah, we are seeing consoles heading out for delivery. And then we have some couriers down here who can do their thing. We have some things getting printed on the other side as well. I love that. I really do. I think that's so cool. It'd be nice if companies were a little bit more keen to work with me and give me printing jobs, because at the moment it's just a case that this warehouse is never going to be full. But it is also cool that we did actually get to see the console production line working right there. It's also really cool seeing this place kind of fill up a little bit. That's really nice to see. It's kind of exciting to see this place filling up just a little bit, even if again it's never actually going to fill up. That's not bad at all, though. We managed to successfully print some consoles, which says to me that that is in fact a good-looking console assembly line. Now, what's also interesting is Roaster Coaster 4 Deluxe Edition has a lot of followers, and I've currently got that thing. Wait, what is this? It's another print job. I currently have that set to print a maximum of 50,000, so I'm going to change that to 150,000 copies for RC4 Deluxe Edition, because it seems like there's a lot of people following that. It has, admittedly, been set for July 2012 on its release date, which might be a little bit far away. I don't know if it needs to be that far away. We could probably bring that forward, or we can just sit and wait. I guess it doesn't really matter. Okay, that is a crazy headline. Bove Digital made $122 million this month. Who is that, and where exactly are they? These guys, they've been around for a while. They have 6 products. What did they just do? How did they just make that much money? I guess it's probably Space World. They released it 11 years ago. I mean, it's the only thing that could have made them that much money, I guess. It's still got prominent marketing as well. Huh. Unless this phone operating system that they put out a couple of years ago. I don't know. I don't know how those guys managed to make that much money. Maybe someone invested in them. Maybe they were given a whole bunch of money. I don't know. It is wild to me that there is an NPC and an AI company worth over $1 billion, though. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. I probably have. It's probably happened in one of these series here on YouTube, and I just don't remember, but that is pretty wild. And we're not too far off. We're 3/4 of the way there. We're also seeing a remarkable amount of followers on RC4 Deluxe Edition, which has me thinking that maybe 150,000 units in stock is not going to be enough. I hope it is. Okay. July 2012. That's when RC4 Deluxe Edition's going out. That's where we are right now. There's 375,000 people following this. Let's release it and see what the ratings are. It's 5 stars, 5 stars, and 5 stars. Don't mind if I do. Let's order. I'm going to order 100,000 copies up front as well. This might be a bit silly, but I'm going to do it anyway and throw $100,000 at marketing for the time being as well. Just because I can, for the most part. That's really, it's that simple. I want to see if this thing ends up selling, essentially. We spent, wait, what did we, what did I do? RC4 Deluxe Edition. I did, hold on a minute. Yeah. What did it, so the profits are currently minus $500,000. Huh. All right. I mean, fair enough. Roaster Coaster 4 is right here. Add-on is there. There's 436,000 active users, so almost all of them are interested in this expansion. I'm also curious to see if Morph has any new platforms it can go to. Still none. Okay. Well, fair enough. Let's see how the expansion's doing in terms of marketing. It's unavoidable. Good. So we should be looking at a success on this. We should be looking at some considerable money on this. There's no way RC4 Deluxe Edition doesn't sell, right? There's no way. We also have a deal for printing. I'll take it, as I always do. Print jobs are nice and easy. It's got to. Minus $67,081 is going to turn into 3.2 million. Not bad. Not bad. That is not bad at all for a little expansion. 2.5 million right there. Anything to port this to? I think we're already porting it to things, but we'll add that one. And something tells me the Roaster Coaster 4 should probably get a priority on its porting over Hell Fortress. This porting stuff here. Actually, you know what? Let me cancel, or can I just pause? I'm just gonna pause all of these porting jobs while we do the Roaster Coaster one, and we'll see if we can get it through those 13 operating systems quickly. I doubt it. I really do. I don't think that's gonna go quickly at all, but we might as well see. And we should also look and see how many units sold on this guy. We sold, oh boy. We've sold half of the main game's worth of units on that. So this RC4 Deluxe Edition is going to cap really, really quickly. But that's, I guess, okay. We're still making money. Marketing's unavoidable. It might encourage people to buy it. I don't know that it will. I don't like that there's going to be a cap on it. But I'm also curious to see how much money it makes going into August. 2.6, yeah. I have a feeling it's gonna plateau super fast, but that's okay. It's gonna total probably $5 million this month, maybe, and that's fine. It was $500,000 to make the expansion, so it's already turned a profit. I can't really be bad to that. I can't really complain about that. So I guess we'll just let the teams work on porting it. And I mean, it is being ported, so there's a bunch of systems. There's millions of potential new consumers that can pick up Roaster Coaster 4 and then pick up the expansion. So if we can keep the porting going, we can keep the sales going, and we can keep the money coming in while we're working to do everything else that we're doing. There's $4.2 million this month in total. Not bad. We're also being robbed. We're also being robbed. Let me just restore that furniture. Thank you very much. And let me go ahead and say the fateful words that we all knew were coming. Thank you so much for watching. This is going to be the end of the video for today. I got that outro out of order, but you get the idea. It's been an absolute pleasure, as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.